Welcome to the Athletics Up North podcast, where we talk track and field your questions. I'm your host, Tori West. Let's get this show started.
It's a monster throw, ladies and gentlemen. Jared Bannister away, Freeman out well. A magnificent performance. What a legend. What a champion.
All right, welcome everyone to episode 7. I had to double check what episode we were up to. But we're up to episode 7 of the Athletics Up North podcast. And this week we have, our special guest is Nash Lowis, who, if you don't know, is from North Queensland, champion Javelin thrower, won the Oceania champs last year. Was it last year? Yeah, last year. Yeah. And also won the World Juniors in 2018. So welcome, Nash. Thanks for coming on the podcast.
No worries.
How is everything going? I guess we'll start off with what's relevant at the moment in the world. How's training going in Corona season?
Yeah, so for me, it's kind of been a bit of a blessing in disguise because my back started to play up coming into the season this year. And with this Corona shit, it was a good chance for me to pretty much have a break, pretty much just deload. So I've had a bit of time off work. And just pretty much just trying to get this back right because I've had it since like 2016, I think it started, like nationals. So it's been around for a while. So hopefully we can hit it on the head and become good.
Yeah, that's good. I think I'm in the same boat as you, being that this is all a blessing in disguise, that extra time to fine tune things, which is awesome. Yeah. But I was thinking for you in particular, like it's been a big couple of years for you. Like you've won World Juniors, like absolutely killed it. And then you transitioned into the seniors, and then you also moved to Townsville from Charters Towers, and you've moved, and you did Oceania champs last year as well. So it's like just been this succession of transitions for you. like how have you handled it, and how are you going through all that transition period?
I think I've been on, I've had a pretty good run, luckily enough. But it's kind of all come to a stop now. I come to a hold. Hopefully we can get back to where we were last year, because like Oceania Games, that's probably like my best, like my proudest series that I've had in a comp before. I felt really good about how I threw that night, and I think right now it's kind of not going too bad. Like my recovery was like my first 2 weeks I've been doing like nothing at all, and then since then I've just kind of just been loading the body up slowly but surely, and I think I should. It's hard to say how long the recovery is going to go for, but hopefully if it goes well, I can be back to throwing in like 6 months. So that'll
that's
probably
good.
Be Corona stuff anyway.
Well, that's good. It doesn't look like the next competition won't be for until October, November. So 6 months is plenty of time for you, which is awesome. Now, you're originally from Charters, right? So you grew up in Charters Towers. Yeah. So how did you get into athletics? Like, what was your journey into the sport to where you are now?
I started just literally through high school. It was just through like inner house, and I did all right in inner school, and then I was like, oh, maybe I'll just kind of train for it. My granddad was like an ex-PE teacher, and he was like, oh yeah, I'll teach some tips sort of thing. And I was like, yeah, sweet. And then went from there. And then that year, I think I came like 5th in states. And then that's when I found Leslye, and then that was my senior year, and I came 1st in states, and then that was my first time going to nationals, and I grabbed the title there as well. And then that's when I graduated from school, and then I still stayed with Leslye. So she was in Charters Towers and I'm in Townsville. So I'm on program and kind of just been going from there. I've never really dropped it after school.
Wow. So did you reach out to Leslye, or did Leslye scout you out and be like, hey, you've got some talent?
Yeah, it was Mum. Mum was just like, I think she was like, oh, I think he's keen on this, but I just don't know where to start. So she tracked down Leslye, and I was a bit hesitant at first. I wasn't too keen on the idea. I think like Leslye will tell you, like the first couple months, I'm pretty shy guy, so I kind of kept my distance from everyone. But when I was in the squad, it was really good fun. I enjoyed it.
Nice. And how do you manage training now? Because I know Leslie's still based in Charters Towers. Like, do you see her once a week, and then just follow the program outside of that?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, spot on there. Like once a week, depending on where we are in season. if it's off season, I'll usually be going out to her more, and we'll just train on track, on grass. Sorry. And then when it's coming in closer season, she'll come to Townsville and we'll just do like red track. And she'll get in a couple sessions, usually just on the weekends, and she'll see me and see how that's going.
So I guess the social distancing wouldn't affect you guys much because you have got a bit of distance in between you as it is.
I live a pretty simple life, so this whole corona stuff wasn't too much of a shock to the system.
Yeah. I think for people who live like in pretty metropolitan areas, I'm in Brisbane. I know people were freaking out to have to train at a grass track. I'm like, chill, it's okay. Like some places, like
up here,
yeah, like some places just don't have red tracks. Like just get used to it. It'll be fine. So what's like a typical training week look like now during corona season?
So as of right now, I'm pretty much training each day because there's not much load of what I'm doing. It's just really low grade impact stuff. I've just wrote stuff down because I'll probably forget what I do. So I do on like Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, I do like leg work, and then between them on the same days, I'll do double sessions on the Monday, Wednesday, and the Friday, and then in between them, I'll just do like core work, leg work is them on them double days, and then like elbow work for my elbows because I'm falling apart. I trying to free up.
Don't say that.
Trying to free up like my upper thoracic, so then that takes more load off the lower back. Just kind of bits and pieces here and there, flexibility. So not a whole lot's going on.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that because like throwing javelins, it's bloody tough. Like it puts so much load into your body, but it's especially tough when you're just missing those technical points. Hey, like one bad throw and you're winded, you're like, everything gets everything gets locked up.
Yeah,
it's so crazy. So it's good you've got this time to like release everything and get it feeling good. But so you said that you had the bit of the back issue back in 2016. So it's something you've had for a while, but you're getting on top of it now, which is fantastic. Good news. It's what we all want to hear. We want to see you go all the way. But I remember around World Juniors, like there was like just the way you trained for it. Like people were saying it's so unorthodox and different, but yet you like produced the result. Like explain that. Like what sort of things would people say, and how did you deal with that?
I don't know, because for me that was just like the norm. That's just how I trained. I think that like just ever since I started athletics, like going on like camps and seeing how other people train, I think did shed a bit of light on how what I do in my training is different to what other people do. So I think I don't know what really is unorthodox. I think maybe like I do a fair bit of skipping. A lot of the things that I do, you don't need much equipment to use to do them. Like, what do you think? I think skipping was a big one for you. That's what you were like. Yeah, like I've never really seen athletes like skip much before and make a group.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think it's a good thing. I think it's great. You got the result. Like, who cares? Like, hats off to Leslye, like for getting that. But I'm always interested because there's always like pools of information in athletics. Like, this is the right way to do it. No, this is the right way to do it. And there's like contention. And it's like, well, look, if it gets the result, then obviously it's the right thing for this athlete. So
I think that comes down to as well. Like Leslye, my coach, is pretty an old girl. She's got loads of knowledge, and I think that's kind of where it comes from. Like for another example, like a gym stick. Have you ever heard of them? But pretty much just like it's like a bar, and then you've got like, depending on like how strong you are, you've got bands on each side, and they loop around your feet, and you can do like just a bunch of different exercises. And I think I don't even think I've even seen an athlete use them before. But that's another thing that I think I do a bit different. What else? Not for me. Like you'd probably say for like how much days a week would you like throw? Because for me, I'm only like once a week. Where I see other throwers, they usually like twice a week. They can flog it usually for a bit.
Yeah, look, I have to be really careful with throws because I like once a week, And then the day after, I have to get a massage because like my whole body, like I get a bit of tightness in my lower back, and it can cause my right leg to shorten. And then if I run on that shortened leg, it just issues. So I've learned, it's at the end of my program, and then there's always a massage after, because your body it gets slammed in javelin. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Like you want to throw more regular, so then like you get more used to the movement, but then your body doesn't allow it. It's painful, but it is what it is.
Do you do any visualization for like your throws?
My coach like rips into me for it because I don't do it as much as I should. But I'm usually in competition. I'm kind of cool headed, and I just go in there knowing go in there knowing that you've done the work. And then just pretty much just have a dig. And I don't really get nervous. I do like big comps, but it doesn't affect me too much. Do you do much mental work?
I have started lately. I probably in the last just before nationals, probably 8 weeks out, I started doing a lot more visualization. Particularly for javelin, actually, because I hurt my elbow too. I tore my MCL in November, and I could barely throw leading up to nationals. So in my head, I was like, "Oh God, I've got to visualize this." And then I pulled it out where it counted, but it was triggered because I couldn't throw, and it worked. So that was great.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, anything extra you can do. Interestingly, I was looking at I don't know if you follow Catherine Brooks. Do you follow her on Instagram?
No, I don't think I do. Hey.
Javelin thrower, PB 54. She posted a story a couple nights ago of her throwing in the dark. Right? So you can't see the javelin. And she's like, I was like, what? That's actually really cool. And she's like, yeah, you're just focusing on your body positions and getting into that pocket before you whip. And I was like, wow, I want to try that. Like,
because I feel like so many throwers do judge their throw on how far the distance is or how it flies, which does tell you a lot about the position that you're throwing from. But that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah. So I thought that was cool. You know what? Next time in Townsville, we should do a video and try and do it at night and see how the session goes.
Just run around.
It would be good to find out, like, get used to that feeling, because you know how it is. Like once you hit the sweet throw, it doesn't feel like nothing. Like it just whips. So yeah, it's always interesting. Javelin's such an athletic event. I think my first coach, Gary Cairns, would tell me that it's probably one of the hardest events, second to pole vault, to learn and master.
Technically, there's so much shit going on, hey?
Yeah, the positions, and you have to be athletic. Like even watching the top guys at the moment, like Thomas Roller and how he trains, it's so much functional fitness and flexibility and speed. Like it's the whole package, which is why, I transitioned to the heptathlon, but I did love javelin. And also the world record holder for javelin, interestingly, for women, was a heptathlete originally, and then went on to focus on just the javelin. That was Barbora Spotkanova, I think her name is.
A Russian or something.
Yeah. Oh no, Czech Republic. She was trained by Jan Selesny.
Oh, that'll do it.
Yeah. What's the competition scene like in Australia? Like I know, speaking to multi-eventers, there's a lot of camaraderie, everyone gets along. With the sprinters, when I spoke to Jake, obviously everyone's super competitive. Like what's it like amongst the javelin throwers in Australia?
Yeah, I think it's kind of the same deal. I think we all get along pretty well. And it's just good having healthy relationships with them, because usually you're going to be with them for a while if you stay in the sport. And it's just good having like top level athletes in Australia, because then that makes you want to perform better to be on that top podium, which is really well.
That's good. As long as, sometimes the banter can make watching competitions fun, there's that bit of competition. But as an athlete, it's nice to be in a pool where it's amicable. Everyone gets along. So So the big question I think a lot of people want to hear is World Juniors, winning World Juniors. Like that's a huge deal, a huge achievement. World Junior champion. Can you walk us through that experience? Like what was going through your mind? Like, were you surprised? Like, in your words, I want to hear the story.
Yeah. So this thing was that was actually incredible. That was a fairy tale for me because like leading up to that comp, I was going sweet. Like training was really well. We were looking good. And then I'm probably getting these time frames wrong, but about 3 months before pre-departure. So if no one's know what pre-departure is, like if you make a Oz team or any team, like before you go to like a major chance, like you need to throw like a pre-departure like distance or time. So then like that like concretes your place in the team. And I had that coming up, and I think I had to throw 68 something, and which wasn't out of the range for us. So we were feeling pretty confident with it until that hemi gone. I did it. I was running. I was doing like short sprints, like 60-meter sprints, and then I was probably on my second last rep. I ran, and then just something popped, and I kicked my leg out, and then I was like, yeah, surely that's got to be my hemi. I've never done one before. Sure, that's got to be it. And then ended up getting a scan on it, and they're like, oh yeah, so you've like completely ruptured your, I think it's like bicep femoris or something. It was like right up the top, like near my ass sort of thing. And then I was like, oh shit, surely that's me, like I'm done sort of thing. So then for the next step for me was seeing a surgeon, which I had like a meeting with in Brizzy, like a Zoom, and he kind of disagreed with the radiographer, saying, I don't think it's ruptured. I think it's still slightly connected, so it can grow. Like you will be able to grow back scar tissue, and it'll be fine. He just kind of said the risks that involves with me keep going and try and make the team. He just said there's like a third of a chance that if you do rip it again, like that's it. You'll need to get it surgically put back up to where it was supposed to be. And then that's what we did. We just did the best thing we could to get our hemi in the best. I just did everything as planned, so the hemi like could perform at its best, I guess. And coming into pre-departure, me and my coach were like, okay, so we're going in. We're just going to have one throw. We're going to throw the standard, and then that's it. You're walking out of the comp, and then that's what we did. So I went in there. I threw, I think it was like 70 or 71 or something, and then that was concreted my position in the team. And then it was just a matter of hammering that hemi, getting it as strong as I can for World Under-20s, and then going over. So that was like a plus for me. I was like, I thought I was in the team, and then I wasn't, and then I was like, damn, surely that's it. And then I ended up being in the team again. So anything from here on in, I was pretty much just going to be stoked with, just being in the team. That was my first Oz team to be with. And I've gone in, so with qualifying round, I went into the same deal. We just wanted to get in there first throw. We wanted to hit the qualifying mark and then walk out. And I think the qualifying mark was 73. And at that one, my PB was like 71.50. So I had a PB to get the qualifying standard, which I think everyone was freaking out about because the standards are so high. And I know I just pulled something out, and I had a really good run through. And then I think I threw 70. I don't even know what it was. I think it was like 74 or something. But I could see it on the TV in the background that it's gone past that like little yellow line. So I thought happy days, and then that was it for me. And then I was pretty much resting up, getting the body right for tomorrow, which was the finals. And then just went out there, and after the qualifying, I said, damn, surely like I've already got a PB. I'm happy with that. Like anything on top of that is like just icing on the cake. So we went into the next day not thinking too much, just seeing how it went. And then like I think I can't remember my series there, but pretty sure on must be my fifth throw. My third throw I can't remember when I was leading, but I was leading at one point, and then the dude from US threw one further than me, so I was like, damn, so I've got to back it up again. And then luckily enough I did. And then that just the moment when the last dude threw, which I don't know, that was me. Okay, the last dude in front of me threw, I was just absolutely stoked. And then I was having my last throw of the comp, which I should have tried to like get this right, because I was going for the Oz Under-20s record, which was like 76 something. So it wasn't far in. Well, I've already PB'd, but it wasn't far in front of my PB that I threw that day, and then I just absolutely rushed it. Pretty bad throw, but yeah, I was absolutely stoked. Probably one of the best days of my life.
Yeah, I got goosebumps listening to that. I didn't know you'd actually fully done your hamstring like that. That's
Yeah,
were you in pain? Were you in pain while you were throwing?
When I did my hemi, when I was throwing, like with
when you
my
were
hemi.
throwing, both.
Well, you can see the way that I threw in like world champs, anything after I threw my hamstring. You can see that I kind of like raise up and kind of fall through my throw. And I think I'm doing that like subconsciously because of my hamstring, but before that I didn't do it. So I don't know if that's like my brain just trying to protect my hemi from throwing and not getting in that position that it wants to be in. But yeah, no, I'm stoked.
Of course. Wow. That's crazy. I didn't know that. I'm glad you shared that. I'm glad everyone can hear that now. I'm because I knew you won. I mean, obviously seen all the news. I seen that Nash and Ash are world junior champions. So Ash Maloney won the DHAC. I was like, wow, what are the chances? Their names sound the same. That's crazy. And like, did it take a while for that to sink? Like, how did you celebrate afterwards? Like, what'd you do?
So I went to, because luckily enough, my coach was there. Her husband was there. My mum was there, and my mum's mate was there. So I had a bit of family there, and I think we just went to like this pub, kind of just near the stadium, and then just had dinner and I had a couple of beers and. But I was still in my uniform and had my medal on, and people were just like coming over just randomly, like, "Oh yeah, I'll buy you a beer." I'm like, "What's happening here?" I'm like, "I've never had this tension before. Like, what's going on?" But no, it was really good.
Wrap it up. So 2021.
Yeah, I didn't think it.
Pardon?
What was that?
Oh, sorry, it's cutting out a little
bit.
It's cutting out a little bit. Hold up. Oh no, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear.
Okay, cool. It is lagging a little bit. Can you see me okay?
Yeah, it looks like 240 pp, but yeah, I can see you.
Okay, all right. As long as the audio is there, that's totally fine. All right, so what we were on World Juniors. Okay, so obviously Olympics was postponed this year, but obviously Olympics is the goal. Hey, it's gunning for 2021 qualification, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, and what do you need to do? Like, I know you have to do 5 comps, but like, what's that game plan look like for you?
Well, I think when I get back into it, it's going to be totally different to how it would have turned out if I kept going this year, because I had some good throws from last year, like Oceania like there was good points there. So now I think I'll just have to restart and matter of just getting them points back up. Because I don't really understand this point system, but Leslie's all over it. So she's just like, okay, you need to throw this here, do that, and you'll get in. Like, and so I'll just listen to her, and she'll tell me what to do.
That's nice. You can trust her with that. It's nice to have someone all over that. So all you have to do is perform. Like, that takes a lot of weight off your mind.
You gotta add them up.
For me,
subtract them, and then find average or something. I don't even understand it.
Yeah, you got to find your 5 best, add your performance score to your ranking score and your placing score, and then average it out and then work out if that's enough to get in the top, whatever.
Right.
It's crazy. It's hectic. All right. Well, we covered most of the main questions. We now move into, so the name of the podcast is Talking Track and then Fielding Questions. So we've basically done questions, but these are more like quick rapid fire questions. So hold up, I'll just get my list up. All right, quick questions. Who inspires you the most?
I'd probably say Anthony Joshua. You know, the boxer?
Yeah, he's
just, I don't know. I think that he's just crazy. The way that boxing, I think just boxing in general, they have to be so fit, and they're just pretty crazy on their dedication to the sport. And the fact that he is an absolute rig. Have you seen his rig?
Oh, he's crazy. He's ridiculously fit. Yeah, I seen an Instagram photo where you're on a boxing bag. Are you doing a bit of boxing training?
Nah, not at the moment, but I used to. Yeah, I used to love hitting the bag. Eh?
You know, if you got a fast arm, it makes you a killer in the ring.
Oh, I said killer
It's true.
thrower too.
Yeah, true. But the ring will I shouldn't say that. The ring will pay you more, but I'm not going to say that.
Yeah,
Focus on athletics. We want you to stay with athletics forever.
Yeah.
Next question is your favorite training session to do?
Probably gym. I really like being in the gym. I'm usually in the gym when outside of now. Usually in the gym only like twice a week. And I enjoy the gym because you just have the session there and I'd feel comfortable in the gym. And I'd just do the work, smash it out, and you'd feel good. Whereas like a throwing session, you can feel really good because you threw well, or you can not feel so great about your session because technically you weren't feeling, it wasn't that great on the day. So I'd probably say gym, chucking some weights around.
Yeah, it's nice to put some head off and switch off. Did you gym by yourself?
Yeah.
I find it personally. I find it pretty. Yeah, good for the mind. Next question: if you didn't do javelin, what other event would you specialize in, or what other sport would you specialize in?
Yeah, I'm not much of a runner. I'm probably horrible at jumping. I'm pretty Gumby. So I'd probably say rugby league. I used to do that in school. And then once I started athletics, Leslie's like, yeah, nah, probably don't do rugby league. You might get injured. So that's when I kind of cut that out and then just focused on javelin.
Nice. And you're a North Queensland Cowboys supporter?
100%, all the way. Go the boys, Cowboys.
You know, I was thinking next year, given all goes well leading into the Olympics, I thought it would be amazing for a bit of cross promotion if we could somehow get some track and field athletes to the halftime show at the stadium. So we get you throwing a javelin to see how far you can throw it across the field, and then get Jake to sprint against one of the fullbacks or something.
Oh, that'd be sick.
Yeah, I know. I'll plant the seed. Hopefully someone important listens to this, but I'll definitely try and make those connections to make it happen, because that'd be so cool.
That'd be sick. Yeah, I'd be down for that. 100%.
Yeah. What country do you want to compete in? Is there any particular track with a view or history that you would love to go to?
No, I'm not that picky. I'd probably just go anywhere. I haven't traveled that much, so I'd just get abroad, literally anywhere. Yeah, I'm not fussy at all. What about you?
I want to go compete in Austria. I've got this. It's like the mecca of multi events. I got invited this year, but obviously that didn't happen. So hopefully next year I get to go.
Because usually for javelin, Finland's like the place where all the good throwers were. So we're already throwing there. But yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, the Finland and Germany, actually all Europe have their javelin programs sorted. Especially Germany. Yeah. Especially Germany, they're pumping out I think in the world rankings they've got 5 guys who could make the Olympics, but only 3 of them can get through. Is that right?
That would be tough, hey? Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Imagine that. I'd switch countries. What food would you eat on a competition day? Do you have any sort of set meal you have, or just whatever's served?
I think just eggs on toast with avo and maybe some spinach or something like that. It depends, I guess, where your comp, what time your comp is that next day. If it's later, then you're gonna have different meals, and usually real fun for me. I make sure I'm finished my meal or eating 3 hours before my when I'm supposed to be throwing. So that's usually what I go with. And then maybe take snacks out, nuts or something out on the track. Yeah.
And last one. So what is the best tip you've been given in your journey throwing javelins or as an athlete?
I'd say be patient. You want to throw far, but you just you got to do the work for that to come, and it will come eventually. You just got to put the work in. I'd say, I wrote this down here. What did I say? I said literally just research like javelin and people just throwing, but like take it with a grain of salt, which is probably hard for throwers that are just coming in, because they don't know like why is he putting his foot there? Why is he doing this or that? So I guess if you have a good having a good coach is also a big tip. That would help a lot. Yeah, that's about it, eh?
No, I think you about covered it. I think, javelin is an event where you have to be super patient. Have you found that like your time in between PBs is quite long? Like you hit a PB and like a little bit consistent for a while, and then the PB comes and they sort of get further and further apart. Like
it's kind of
big throws.
And I'd also say throwing both sides. I don't know if many people do that, but I do that. So I throw with my right, which is a dominant, and then I throw on my left, but I look Gumby as hell. Even I've been doing it for like 4 years, but I still look really Gumby.
No, that's a good one. Balance it out.
Decide what to do, yeah.
Yeah. I tried just throwing with my left, like, you do practice throws and then you walk back. When I walk back, I throw it with my left hand.
Yeah.
But it's a start, but I think actually throwing it would be better. The problem is I don't have time in my program to add stuff in.
Yeah.
Try. We'll see. Well, anyways, thanks so much for chatting today. It was a really good chat. That was easy. You were worried about being camera shy. You talked well.
Yeah, so. I'm not the most talkative, eh?
No, you did well. I think it was good. I think people will get to know you better after that.
Yeah, sweet.
So, awesome. Well, thanks, Nash.
Sweet as, no worries. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for listening. It was great to relive Nash's World Junior win, and we wish Nash all the best in the lead up to the 2021 Olympics. If you enjoyed this episode, we'd appreciate it if you share on social media and also subscribe to all our social media platforms. Next week, we'll be chatting to Australian junior representative Montana McAvoy and talking about how her training is going. Stay well, and I'll chat to you again soon.